got to remind myself. This is Mick, the Doctor of Digital Smith, and I am co-hosted by, of course, my illustrious and awesome co-host, Kendra. So how are you doing, Kendra, today?
I'm good, Mick. I'm good. I'm stepping up my game. So for the people that can't see us or watching us, Mick's always in a suit and very professional. And I am telling you, I've come in a hoodie before. So today I'm dressed up. I fixed myself up today.
Well, you look fabulous. And
Thank you.
so what we're going to do for this segment is we talked about the dragon last time, Doctor. And so what we're going to do this time is the he said, she said segment. And there was one actually, Kendra, I wanted to wait because you did like one of his statements. And I'm not sure if you remember it on your comments, but I'm going to hold off on that one because you may
Okay.
remember that one. You liked one that he said. So
Yes.
JC's childhood was marred by divorce, and one of the things that he was trying to address in the interview was what can be done. So I'm not going to mention number one because I think you may remember it was a good saying that he had. So I'll hold off on that one.
Okay. We'll see. I've got several of those little nuggets.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to go to number two instead. So JC advises an integrated life, and then he explained what that meant. So even if you have a good career, prioritize your family. Number three, if needed, seek a mental health professional. Number four, a professional can assist in discovering a key time, what JC described as a snap moment, because the basis of his trauma during his parents' divorce. And number five, look out for a ladder out of difficulties, realizing it is not your fault. Number six, during JC's divorce, your ex can be your best friend, even if divorce ensues. Number seven, both parents should prioritize the children. Eight, work outside the courts if possible. Nine, teach children to respect parents equally. Clarify parental roles, caregiver and breadwinner. Number 10, Viktor Frankl, the Austrian psychiatrist, suggests checking your response and not reacting simply on the basis of your emotions. Number 11, a father should show a daughter how a man should act and how he should act. 12, if broken by life, break the cycle of trauma. 13, be kind rather than right all the time. 14, problems are a way, that's God's way of pruning you. And last but not least, unless you have that number one saying 15, slay your dragons by embracing problems and working through them. Make them your roommates.
Love that, Mick. So I was crossing off some that you did reference.
Good. Okay.
I knew you would take the dragon one because you had a relationship there with him on that one.
Indeed.
Yes, yes. I think too, I want to take a minute and just kind of reflect that even though you have a bad childhood, like what JC said, right? Even though you have a bad childhood, he turned it around and made himself a better man, a better husband, a better ex, a better father, all because of his trauma. So I want our listeners to just take a minute and think about that. Just because of what maybe you went through as a
Hmm.
child, or maybe what your children are going through, doesn't mean that you can't turn it around later in life. So, a couple of my takeaways, and I like little snippets that I can actually put on my mirror.
Sure.
And I thought he had a lot of little nuggets.
Hmm.
Messed up to blessed up. So
That's
that
it.
references what I just said. That's it.
Bingo.
Messed up to blessed up. So if you've had a trauma childhood, or if your children are going through, some trauma through divorce, you can take it from messed up and you can move it to blessed. So that was my number one. I also like when the morning, when the day. And I thought, Mick, you agreed with me on that one. I thought
Yeah.
that was a very good, insightful. You get up in the morning, you work out, you prepare, you do some reading, whatever it is, and maybe a Bible verse. You win the morning, you're going to win the day. You're set up for
Mhm.
success. And I thought that was very good. And kind of following what you said, I think towards your number 14, embrace the suck. Just embrace the horrible, I guess, right? Just because you're going to learn from it. And I think that is so important for a lot of people to take away, because sometimes we get sucked into some of the the horrible things that could be happening to us. And we just want to embrace that, learn from it, and move forward.
And thinking about a reminder, we were talking about, is there a reminder we want to tell people? Does everyone feel very supported during this very difficult time, or do they feel alone?
Good point, Mick. So, one of the reasons Mick and I started this podcast is because we wanted to be out there for people to know that you're not alone when you're going through this. And perfect example, I'm in the midst of it right now. This week, I just had, a punch in the gut type of thing where the guardian gave a suggestion that I separate from my children for a year, which is absolutely crazy because I've already been separated for 4 years from one and a year and a half from another. So just know the system's broken and you have to read through that. And Mick and I are here so that you don't feel alone. We're going through it. We've gone through it. We're here for you. You're not doing it alone and you're not crazy. As many times as I've even reflected and thought, am I crazy? Am I the one that's going crazy? You're not. We're here for you. There's other people going through it. So just know that.
And that's indeed the case. And that's, I think, important for people to keep in mind. All of us feel as though we are totally alone. I'm the only person in the universe and no one understands, but you are definitely not. And that's why we want to have the experts and ourselves who have either been through the process or going through it and realizing it. Because I was going through this and I was part of a single parents group through a church when I was going through it. And I said, this is kind of like the inevitable story. Each week I'd come back and time again and I said the same exact thing. Do you guys think I'm crazy? I mean, do you think I'm making this up? Because I'm like, I got to check myself with actual real people who are living normal lives. But exactly, you think you're crazy or you start sounding crazy because it doesn't seem to be possible.
Yes. And Mick, you and I were talking before we went live, and I just want to bring this up too, is we have to live a normal life, right? So when you said you have to check with people with normal lives, right? We still have to live a normal life. We have to hold a job. We have to function day to day. And when you're thrown into the craziness that we have, whether it is, trying to fight for your kids, talk to your kids, dealing with narcissists, it makes it that much more difficult. And sometimes it's hard to get out of bed. And I just want to tell people, get up, make yourself get up and do something that day, whether it's a load of laundry or whatever it might be, and just try to get through your day. And sometimes being normal is a great distraction, right, Mick?
Absolutely. I try to be normal most of the time, but occasionally go off the deep end. But yeah, I think it's an overwhelming kind of experience for most people. But you break up your day into small components, and you do the little things. And when you can do the little things, then it gets you to step 2, and you keep going on from there. But all the things that I thought were normal, I like to read and write, for example. And going through this type of process, I found like my brain was mush. I couldn't think, couldn't read, couldn't concentrate. And you realize what an impact it's having on you. So the normal things that you can experience, that's what you really need to cling and hang on to because it'll keep you sane.
Great advice, Mick. Great advice. So as we move forward into our podcast, I wanted to plug here a little bit on just our next guest that we're going to have up because we're bringing her back for a second time. And this is Dr. Michelle Finneran, and she's from Florida, and she specializes in children's psychology and especially walking us through the different age groups and what ages and what effect a divorce would have on them and how to handle it with parents. And so we had her on before, Mick, and we're bringing her back.
Due to popular demand.
Yes. And if our audience has any questions, we want to make sure they get submitted. So do you want to share the email address and how to get a hold of us?
Yes, this would be the aftermathhealing@gmail.com. And you can always get a hold of us live or off the air and then give us some questions because we are talking to experts and we want to get answers for all the guidance. And thank you for everybody for participating so far. We're getting some response.
Yes. Thank you so much. And looking forward, we've got a few other experts lined up that we'll be talking to coming forward. One's going to be an attorney, and I'm really excited about that, to get an attorney's take on this, because I think that's one aspect that we seem to maybe not get fully. I would also love to get a judge on here, but the attorney is a great start. So We've got a judge. Who else do we have, Mick, coming on?
We have experts. We have a person from Australia coming. We have people who are academic experts and they have published and researched on this area. And we've got two of those folks coming up. So we have got a full plate and we're going through November. We're getting into December. We can't wait for the new year. We're going to have all kinds of exciting people.
Yes. Gosh, we're talking New Year already. That's amazing. And I think that's one good point. You say somebody from Australia. This isn't local to us. This isn't just in the US. This is a worldwide problem. So, very excited to connect with that person as well.
And it's very interesting. So when I wrote the novel about my experience burning America, I thought that's what it was. It was an American problem, but I've been interviewed by a gentleman who is from Great Britain. His sister is going through this process and he lives in Thailand. Now I have this person coming to us from Australia. So this is a global issue. Talk to a person in Nigeria. So I'm saying, yes, indeed, this is a worldwide problem and we're going to get some solutions and answers for you right here on The Aftermath.
Wonderful. Please join us for the next episode. Thanks so much, Mick, for sharing your thoughts with Dragon.
You bet. Thanks for being here. And if you want to stay in tune with us, make sure that you subscribe, like, share, and spread the word. And make sure you're telling everybody about The Aftermath. So, The Aftermath podcast, subscribe, share, make sure you're positively reviewing. We're coming at you again. Thanks for being with us today. Thanks, Kendra.
Thanks, Mick.
Bet. See you next time. Day is Vault.